How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? Do I want to go ahead and upload this live? I could. I could upload this live. I think we're going to discuss the middle and why it's so important for you guys to refrain from focusing on the middle, to refrain from focusing involving manifesting in steps. I know. Just hear me out, okay? Hear me out. So manifestation is perfect. It works in a perfect way, right? This is not something that can be assumed against, believed against, thought away, etc. It is a constant, whether you believe it or not, whether you assume it or not. So you have spiritual law, the almighty law that governs everything else. You cannot get any higher than that. The law of assumption, the law of attraction, and all of the other universal laws are a byproduct of that main law. And via that main law, everything works in a perfect kind of way. Everything in this universe, and the universe after this, the galaxy, the solar system, and everything else in between. So in terms of a physical world human experience, what does this mean for you? Manifestation works perfectly via spiritual law, right? You cannot assume against this. How you doing, Nil? You cannot assume against this. Like I just mentioned just moments ago, right? So when you're predominantly focusing from the end of the middle and things of that nature, when you're constantly focusing involving the steps in between, you're constantly focused on manifesting the steps in between. What you're not realizing is that you're being led across a series of events that's going to lead to experiencing just the steps that you're focused on. Essentially, what I'm saying is, if all you're focused on is the middle, all you're going to experience is the middle. And the problem is what you guys are not understanding is you think that you doing something that's providing you results, that's quote unquote working for you, means it's the best thing for you to engage with. What you're not understanding, how you doing, Jose? What you're not understanding is that is not always the case. Just because something is working for you, true, some channels promote the whole manifesting in steps, it's exhausting. Indeed. Truth is, just because you're doing something to provide results for your life doesn't necessarily mean it's the most accurate way to go about it. And that's something that a lot of people aren't understanding. So they think, okay, well, it's working for me, I'm just going to keep doing it, right? They're not going beyond that. Hi, you're my idol. I watch you every day and you're so entertaining. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. How you doing, Basani? How you doing, bro? What's up, bro? Right? So you guys aren't realizing that. You guys aren't realizing that just because you're going about something in one way to provide yourself with results, etc., means it's the best way to go about it. That's not always the case. I have Kitsune Perm. I'm not sure what that is. So that's the thing. Now, I'm going to further explain this and use an example, provide an example. If you desired money, and I've provided this example before, if you desired a large sum of money and you go rob a bank to acquire that money, congratulations, you got your result. You got the money. But was that the best way to go about it? You desire a specific person, right? So you constantly message them and send them message after message after message until they finally reply in some way, shape, or form. Congratulations, you got your result for communication in some way, shape, or form, right? But was that the best way to go about it? This is the point that I'm making. So when you're manifesting in steps and you experience results from it, yeah, you're experiencing results from it, but it doesn't mean it's the best way to go about it. It doesn't mean it's the most natural way to go about it, the most organic way to go about it. What you guys aren't realizing is that manifestation is perfect via spiritual law. What you're not realizing is that the law of assumption and the law of attraction are byproducts of that almighty spiritual law that governs all other laws. And via spiritual law, manifestation is perfect. So even if you're assuming that manifestation isn't perfect, aka applying the law of assumption, right? It doesn't change the fact that it's still perfect, that those assumptions are still playing out in a perfect way. That's something you guys aren't understanding. My intent is that you do understand that finally right now after listening to this. I love your picture method. The picture method is insanely powerful. So, if all you're focused on is getting a text from your specific person, guess what? You're going to be led across a series of events that's going to lead to experiencing that physical form, and that's all you're going to experience. If you're focusing on ongoing communication, you're going to be led across a series of events that's going to lead to experiencing that physical form, and that's all you're going to experience. Right? And on a surface level, on a logical level, that sounds all happy and dandy. But when you look at it from a higher level, on a level that goes beyond the logic, you begin to realize, well, wait a minute. I don't want just a text. I don't want just communication. I don't want just commitment. I want the entire solidified end result. And then you guys will make excuses as to why you can't focus from the end result. Like, oh, it's easier to manifest in steps. Manifestation isn't always about what's easier, it's about what's accurate. Okay? And that's something that you guys need to understand. Okay, yes, it should feel easy for you when you're going about what you're going about, but it's not always about what's easier when it comes to your life. It's about what's accurate. Sometimes going about it in a way that goes beyond, oh, it's easier to focus in steps, isn't it's not always the most accurate way to go about it. Sometimes when you go beyond that, you've put yourself into a position of realizing, wait a minute, I am worthy of focusing from the end result. Boosts your confidence, gets you into a better headspace, gets you into a better energetic space. You gave me the confidence to go to the end and stop middle-based thinking. That is amazing. You're worthy of your end result. You're worth more than settling. You're worth more than just assuming the middle. You're worth more than just focusing from the middle, the steps in between. And let me tell you something. When you're focusing on the steps in between, that's no different than an individual that is attempting to control every single little thing in their life on a continuous basis, and that is not healthy. I don't care what anybody says to defend it. It is not healthy to sit there and place yourself in a position of feeling the need to control every little thing. That is not what we're here to do. I have a question. I saw a video of yours where you said we shouldn't fill people with fear through affirmations. I was wondering if you could explain a bit, if you could. And I suggested to you to reach out to me personally on Instagram so I could send you voice clips, of which you still have yet to do. So take initiative and do that, man. Message me on Instagram, Manifesting Greatness Now. So, getting back to what I was saying, give up the middle, give up the control. I did follow you. I'll message you. Excellent. I'll look out for it. Excuse me. Give up the control, give up the middle, and your life will be so much better when it comes to how you're consciously manifesting. You won't have this chip on your shoulder anymore. You won't have these expectations anymore. It will be so much more smooth sailing for you. I promise you that. And you'll get accurate results. Here's the deal. Do you want just a text, just communication, just commitment, or do you want the entire end result? Do you want the entire deeply desired end result? Okay? Right? So if you're focusing from the end of being happily married or being in a lifelong romantic, passionate relationship with this person, you impress that upon your mind, you plant that seed. And then guess what's going to happen? You're going to be led across a series of events that's going to lead to experiencing that physical form. And guess what you're going to experience as part of that bridge of events, part of that orchestration of events? The entire middle section. You've changed how I view manifesting as a whole. You've made it so simple and easy, which is what's it supposed to be. Oh man, that's beautiful. Thank you for that. You are so right. It feels so much better to just live instead of constantly worrying about every little detail. It's exhausting. Exactly. Right. I realize that not a lot of coaches talk about this because, truth be told, a lot of coaches that you guys follow, especially in the law of assumption community, the problem with viewing manifesting as only a thought-based process, you tend to get you tend to involve yourself with the logic a little too much. Okay. Sorry for the wording there. And that's what happens with a lot of coaches. So when they teach you, when you're involved with the logic to a hardcore degree, there are just certain things that bypass you, right? You develop certain unhealthy mentalities a lot of the times. And what a lot of these coaches aren't understanding is that a lot of the times when they're teaching you from this logical space, there's a lot of urgency that may be involved, a lot of desperation that may be involved that they're not even aware of because they have yet to transcend and go beyond the logical self, the thought-based aspect of things when it comes to manifesting. And I see it all the time. You know, the logic, the conscious self is what's attempting to control everything. Your higher self is not attempting to control everything. So when a coach is suggesting to you to manifest in steps and focus from the end involving that aspect of things on a continuous basis, 99.9% of times, I guarantee you, they're coming from a place of feeling the need to control everything on a continuous basis, which is completely egoic, conscious leveled, logical minded of an unhealthy nature. It's just not beneficial. So I understand that this is new information for you potentially, but test it out, apply it. And remember what I said, just because you're getting results from doing something in one way doesn't mean it's most necessarily the most beneficial way to go about it. You want hardcore results when it comes to what you want to manifest, then dwell from the deeply desired end. You want good results when it comes to manifesting an SP or whatever the case may be, dwell from the deeply desired end. Remember what I said. You plant the seed of being happily married, being in a romantic relationship with your SP, or whatever the case may be. You'll be led across a series of events, a bridge of events that will lead to experiencing that in physical form. And that bridge of events, okay, you'll end up experiencing the entire middle. And it will happen organically and naturally, without effort, easy and effortless. It's more accurate. So it's either you focus on the middle and just get the middle, or you focus on the end result, get the end result and the middle. It's up to you. Manifestation's perfect. So either way you look at it, one leads to accuracy and one does not. One path leads to what you want wholeheartedly and one does not. And it's up to you to choose which path you'd like to proceed along. The path leading to accuracy and what you want wholeheartedly, or the path leading to inaccuracy and half-assed manifestation. It's up to you. The choice is yours. All right. All right. That's all. You guys have an incredibly beautiful day, filled with love, abundance, and everything in between. I'm probably going to end up posting this live for you to check out and recap and whatnot. If you'd like to work with me, you can check the first pinned comment down below once this video uploads. You can message me on Instagram, Manifesting Greatness Now, and we could get something going. You guys have a beautiful rest of the day. Take care. Stay safe. And much love and peace. Dwell from the deeply desired end.